Welcome to
Burger Edition,
the show where we review burgers and go terribly off topic. I'm Sebastien.
And I'm Matthew.
This episode 110, we went to McCarold's pub at 5400 Côte des Neiges Road, up in Côte des Neiges area of Montreal.
You have a very weird cadence about you today, Sebastien.
Is it specifically today, or is it not my usual cadence?
I think specifically today, specifically just this moment. I think this is 2019. This is the way it's going to be from now on.
This is how it's going to be. I'm doing more of a radio announcer style here in 2019.
I like it. I didn't prepare for it, though. I don't know how I'm going to adapt to this new Sebastien.
Matthew, it's a new year. It's a new podcast voice.
Let's see how long you can keep it up. My thoughts are not long. So what did you think of this? What is it? McCarold's pub?
McCarold's pub. It's a little Irish pub.
What kind of a name is McCarold?
I don't know. Irish.
I don't like the D at the end of that. McCarold's.
McCarold's.
Okay. There was one gentleman who walked in while we were eating. Mm-hmm. Didn't order anything. Just walked in and very loudly started asking, "Is like, is this place the real deal?"
I did not notice that at all.
No? He said, "I'm Irish. Is this place the real deal?" And then the person standing at the door was very hesitant. And he was like, yeah. And then he pointed to some sign over the bar, or around the bar, and was like, "See that? That's from Ireland." And then the guy was like, "Ah. Very nice, very nice. Glad we're..." And then they had some quiet.
It's like a my Guinness sign.
Yeah, I looked over after it and was like, that's really all there was. There wasn't much. And then there was some quiet dialogue between the two, and then he left.
Oh, so
he just wandered in because he wanted to see if this place was the real deal.
Is he planning on coming back with some Irish pals later?
I don't know, but I feel like he's going to be disappointed because the guy didn't, whoever was at the door really didn't sell it.
Didn't sell it well.
No.
Is this place the real deal? We got this sign over there.
Yeah.
It's from Ireland.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it was the real deal. It was very
Matthew,
quiet.
Yeah, it was very quiet. Mind you, we went for lunch at a pub.
It's true.
Middle of the week on a Wednesday. It seems like not the ideal time to go to the pub.
No.
It's kind of a snowy winter day anyway. Matthew, you walked into McCarold's pub.
I did.
What did you think when you walked in to McCarold's pub?
I was kind of bright, man. They got windows, and they aren't covered in newspaper. They aren't tinted. They aren't...
Why should they be covered in newspaper?
Well, I guess they shouldn't be covered in newspaper, but...
It's not abandoned.
Yeah, it wasn't... It was too bright.
I just had double-checked your window here, Matthew, in your home to see if it was covered in newspaper. But no, you have shades, like a normal human.
No, but that's because I live with someone. If I lived alone...
It would just be newspaper.
You better believe it would be spray-painted black. All of the windows when I've lived alone have been fortified with either...
It's true. Your last place, you had those like blackout curtains and stuff.
And even that wasn't enough. I had to have like black like plastic to cover up. I don't like any light bleeding in.
Why?
I don't like knowing when it's daylight outside. I don't like knowing when it's evening. I'd rather just be in ignorance and just assume.
But do you have clocks? Because you have to like go to work on time and stuff like that.
Yeah, sometimes I just like putting the clocks not looking at the clocks, putting them face down and just living in a world without time.
But is that, let's say you know you have 2 days off, and so who knows what time it is? Who cares?
Yeah, put an alarm for when those 2 days off are over.
And
then other than that, don't even know what time it is.
Sounds kind of maddening.
I wouldn't say it's maddening. I think it's just very like you just live your life without. It's like, oh, I hear the birds. That's the worst thing when you hear the birds, because you can do everything you can to block out time.
Yeah. Okay.
And light. But the birds, man. Even when you're playing music, if there's a little lull in the music and you just hear the little tweets of birds, you're like, it's like 4:30 in the morning. I don't like it.
Or not. Maybe it's the middle of the day.
Yeah, but birds, they sing differently at different times of day.
That's kind of true. But also sometimes they get really active after a rainstorm.
Yeah.
Done raining, birds start tweeting again. Is it morning or did it just rain?
That's not a science for me. I'm just saying it ruins the mood.
Okay. So you've been living here for a couple of years, Matthew.
Sure.
How do you like this daylight life of yours?
I don't like it. I've I'm starting to enjoy the sun a little more.
Okay.
Like the summer. I used to think I don't like summer. I like winter because it's always dark and gloomy. And I can just sleep the day away and then, come alive at night. I don't know. I also like to
come alive at night.
And by coming alive at night, it's just like
wake up,
wander into the kitchen, maybe have some leftover hamburger helper.
Yeah, okay.
But I also wanted to go live in Alaska or like that area of the world where it's always night for the better part of it.
Well, it's not most of the time. It's like just there is a straight month of darkness.
Well, there's different points
and a straight month
world.
of day.
There is, but there's also places where it's like, 6 months of darkness.
It's not. It's dark for 6 months, but it's not
it depends where
you're
go.
not getting no sun for 6 months.
There are some places where you
don't
get.
Believe it.
There was
so the bottom of a canyon.
I mean, some of this is from movies. But,
yeah, inside a cave, it'll be dark for 6 months.
No, but I think there was a movie, 30 Days of Night. Oh,
yeah,
actually,
there you go.
That's not 6 months of night.
That is 1 month.
Explicitly 1 month. But there are some places where it's like when you see the world rotate.
Yeah.
And it's like there's that little point like up in, like just across from the North Pole, kind of hidden down.
Just
like
across. What do you mean just across? It's a sphere.
It's a sphere. But if you're looking at it like at the axis, it's like it's kind of tilted. Right?
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at the dark side of that axis where it spins, but like you're kind of always in the dark. You get a little bit of daylight.
But the planet rotates around the sun, and so where that darkness is changes, and that's why there is a month of darkness. But in that rotation around the sun, that shadow moves.
I'm very set on there being at least 6 months of darkness somewhere.
I don't think that's correct. Only at your apartment, Matthew.
Well, it's a place I'd like to live. I remember seeing a commercial once or an advertisement where people lived in one of these dark places.
Okay.
And they had built this communal giant orb to replicate the sun.
Okay.
When it was glowing, and it was just this whole like sense of community, and it was like, let's let the light flow up, and it'll be like we're not just living in darkness all the time. And I thought, why would you do? I would be so upset if I moved to one of those places.
And they're like, let's make our own sun.
Fabricated this sun out of like goodwill. I'd be very upset.
Yeah. Okay. So McCarold's pub. It was kind of bright and sunny today.
Yes.
An Irish pub should be kind of dark and gloomy, I suppose.
Should be.
I feel like it should be cozy.
Yeah, cozy.
There should be a fire in the corner and maybe a cat.
Yeah, sun isn't cozy. Ambient lighting is cozy.
Sunlight is kind of cozy.
Only if it's like...
You ever take a nap in the sunlight in the summer?
Sunset.
In the sunlight.
Yeah, sun.
Where the sun is warming you.
I don't feel like that's cozy, though. I feel like that's
you don't need a blanket, you're blanketed in sunlight.
Yeah, when I think of cozy, I think of lighting. Very like incandescent bulbs.
What about fire?
And fireplaces.
Fire's pretty bright.
Fire's bright. And what is the sun if not fire?
But a fire. A bright fire.
You might be winning me over.
All right, Matthew. It's the new year. Do you have any 2019 New Year's resolutions?
I do. I made a whole list of them.
Yeah, we were talking about it a little bit today, Matthew. You decided, well, I ordered a burger.
Mm-hmm.
You ordered a burger. I ordered a cola.
Yeah.
You ordered just water.
Yeah. Just low.
And so Matthew,
you're off with a very sad face.
You're off bubbles for 2019. You told me.
Yeah, I mean, I had a Red Bull.
Yeah, there's a Red Bull open and sitting right here.
Yeah, but I'm off the bubbles.
Didn't make it very far into the new year.
Last year it was even worse. I think last year I had a Coke the very first
January 1st. It's true. Our first podcast of the year last year, you had tried to give up soda as well.
Yeah.
And you accidentally, basically, out of habit, ordered a soda, and you're like, oh, well.
Yeah. So this is not a regular thing. I was just kind of tired, and you suggested, why don't you just have a coffee? And I was like, no, I gave up coffee, too. Because I never wanted to like coffee. I don't like coffee.
You don't?
I don't enjoy coffee.
How about the smell?
I like the smell. I used to make coffee just for the smell.
What would you do with all the coffee?
I'd pour it out the evening before I would set the timer to make more coffee.
It seems like an expensive odor.
Not when you buy Folgers.
I buy Folgers. I think it's an okay coffee.
Yeah, but it's so cheap. You buy a whole canister of it.
Folgers is the red one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I get.
Yeah. And the theme song really stuck with me when I was a kid.
Is some waking up Folgers in your cup?
Yeah, the best part of waking
Yeah,
up.
okay.
Folgers
I
in your
guess.
cup.
But it's in your cup. It's not just in your nose.
I just like the brewing of it, but I don't like coffee. And I
Best
drank it.
part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
So you went with that. I was thinking more of like the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. A little more like a
Goofy.
hillbilly.
Oh yeah.
Folgers in your cup. Yeah, more of a country. Anyway.
I'm sure they had both versions. One's a little bit country, one's a little bit rock and roll, I guess.
It's always different. They might have had Miley Cyrus sing a verse or two. Actually, that covers
that kind of gets both. Yeah.
What was I saying? Yeah, coffee, but coffee's gonna like stain my teeth. And my plan is to like get my teeth cleaned probably 4 times a year now.
Okay.
Now that I have dental insurance, I
Oh,
can just
do you?
go and
Congratulations.
just get the cleaning done. I'm not even gonna brush my teeth anymore. I'm just gonna go to them every day.
Yeah. Take care of it, guys.
Yep. So that's one of my resolutions is no more soda. Although
now, okay, I want to ask follow-up questions here.
Yeah.
Is it just no more bubbles? Are you allowed like a club soda, Perrier?
I think I can deal with a Perrier.
All right.
That'll
okay.
be like to help me wean off of soda.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the taste of club soda.
Okay. How about Red Bull?
Only in case of emergencies.
Okay. Was this an emergency?
And I feel like I can only have a Red Bull if I'm extremely tired and have to stay awake, or if I need some energy.
Just need to get amped up for the podcast.
Yeah, and that's like, it's not going to happen too often. It's not going
It's
to
every
be
other
like,
week.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nothing. That's 26 cans of Red Bull in a year.
Still, when you phrase it that way, it doesn't sound great, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, Matthew. How about a flavored Perrier? Are you allowed like a lemon lime Perrier?
I don't like that. I'd be allowed it. Yes, I allow myself, but I don't want it.
How about a strawberry Perrier?
No, these are all still flavors. I don't want them.
Okay, you
I
don't
like
want any of
flavored-
these flavors.
I don't like flavored things.
Well, what do you mean?
Flavored liquids? No.
Except Pepsi. You love Pepsi.
Well, no, but that's not flavored. Like, okay.
Well, yeah, it is. Definitely is.
Yes, but it's flavored as like cola flavored,
Okay.
I don't want something that is water. It's like, it's also a little bit of lime in here.
Okay.
It's like, no, I don't want that. I want liquid that is what it's supposed to be, not juiced up with a little something extra. Unless we're talking cola, because I do like some cherry cola and some vanilla cola.
Yeah.
And sometimes some lime cola.
How about like a Dr. Pepper? Thoughts on Dr. Pepper?
Dr. Pepper is...
Too many flavors?
After you haven't had it for a little while, and you take it and you're like, oh my God, why don't I drink this all the time? And then after you're at the bottom of the can, you're like, oof, too sweet.
I'm done with Dr.
And
Pepper.
if ever you buy a 2-liter bottle, I find those lose their fizz right away.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, they're very, very fast to go flat.
Is that... is this just... You feel that way? Is this backed up by anything?
Well, I think my tongue and my taste buds have
Okay.
have grown to understand how long things can stay.
So,
fizzy.
Matthew, you have this fine-tuned tongue and taste buds for colas. Why are you putting it to waste by quitting colas?
It's time to let someone else shine.
All right.
and who knows what my taste buds can do without being burned off by this soda.
Do you think soda's burning taste buds off?
Well, it's cleaning pennies. So what's it doing to my tongue?
Well, it's clean pennies, but you gotta leave in the pen. You gotta leave in the soda for like hours.
Yeah, sometimes I go to sleep. I just swish my mouth out with soda, fall asleep to it.
Just leave it in your mouth, just like
well, because you see it clean off pennies,
gargling
and I
as
used
you
to
sleep.
think, if I leave it in my mouth, maybe it'll clean off my teeth. Does not do it.
No, I wouldn't think so.
But
did you actually try that, Matthew? You did, didn't you?
Listen, I have only ever gotten one cavity in my adult life, and I don't know how I let that happen. And you know what? When I think about it,
Nothing to do with the swishing of Pepsi in your mouth before bed.
that's the thing. It's like I refuse to call it an actual cavity because they sold it to me as
like a pre-cavity.
Looks like if you don't take care of it, it could turn into a cavity. So what we'd like to do is just fill it preemptively.
Yeah.
To make sure no cavity happens. Now, in your mind, would that count as a cavity?
I think I would say no.
Because I have a filling,
Was never a cavity.
but it was never classified as a cavity. It was just like, this is at the most risk of becoming a cavity out of any other thing in your mouth. So let's just nip it in the bud.
How about a Sprite?
No.
Are you allowed Sprite?
No, man. So the only difference